favorite bit of and such is was that a good Hot Rodney Prime impression? Because I'm bad at impressions. I'm sorry.
It's only me.
What up there, Metroplex? I'm bored. What are you bored for? We got all sorts of stuff going on here. I have decided I am going to not do anything Transformer related. Just other things. I'm going to call this new project Such. Why the hell would you do that? I need some change. I need some excitement. Why don't we just stay here? I don't want to go anywhere. Come with me. Oh, you want me to go with you? Alright, well, we'll go with you. That's fine, yeah. So, where do you want to go to first? I don't care. Prepare for teleport. 1, 2, 3. This place here doesn't look so bad.
My favourite bit of Such is... I don't really know. I mean, it could be my slowly growing collection of Funko Pop figures, because I find them cute and adorable. Or it could be various Lego forms of some of my favourite characters. Or it could just actually be Lego. Because, quite frankly, who doesn't like Lego? My favourite bit of Such could be Star Wars, because that's another slowly growing collection there. Or even more Lego. Actually no, I think my favourite bit of Such is comic books. Mainly Marvel. Or more Lego. Actually, my favourite bit of Such is everything. Ow! I don't just like one thing. I like it all.
My favorite Such is the X-Men, and as a young mind, I don't think I had much of a choice in the matter. You see, growing up near my place, I had a comic book store littered with X-Men books. And right beside that comic book store was a burger joint with the best fries and gravy I've ever had in my life. Chips to you, UK guys. And they also had a jukebox that was playing tunes like GNR. There was no Elvis on that jukebox, you know what I mean? Good stuff. And inside that burger joint, they had an X-Men arcade game, which I put tons of quarters into. I really had no choice but to love X-Men. It was the perfect scenario. X-Men is my favorite Such.
Favorite bit of Such is Kamen Rider, Star Wars, and DC. My favorite bit of Such is Marvel, DC, and Doctor Who.
That's really a cassette for you young folks if you're not sure.
My favorite bit of and such is basically anything I grew up with as a small child. It started off at my youngest with Transformers and G.I. Joe pretty simultaneously. Also a bit of Mask thrown in there, was very much into what little Mike was about. Also He-Man, I had quite a few amount of He-Man figures, but I never saved them. So this is from the 2002 line, and I like updated versions of those figures. Ninja Turtles, very much into Ninja Turtles, never stopped. Tons of t-shirts. I have all the movies on Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, because I actually really like the first movie a lot still. I even like the new 2012 cartoon. It's fantastic. I actually didn't get into Star Wars until way later, but it probably was the thing I got into the hardest because I was older and I could consciously make an effort to learn more about it, reading books. Actually, that was pretty much, other than watching the movies at that time, the only other thing you could really do is read books and comics, and I was very into the books. But I realized that most of the books were pretty awful. But I'm still into all those, and I'm still into collecting toys, so I like to keep those properties at what I really enjoyed as a child. I've picked these figures here to sort of represent my different fandoms that I like the most. I don't have any Mask figures, which kind of sucks. Hopefully they'll redo those.
Now, my absolutely favorite thing of all time is, of course,
My favourite piece of such is, other than Transformers, actually this is my number one hobby, is music. But in terms of toy collecting, my favourite toys other than Transformers are Masters of the Universe. And I tend to mix them up together in my collection. I like to mix up all my collections.
Where the hell are we now?
This is Cringer, my fearless friend.
Ah, nuts.
Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held on
Metroplex, we're gonna have to leave. Ah!
So that's my favourite such.
If you're asking what my bit of such is, my strictly such, it is, of course, the amazing Doctor Who. Now, when I was a kid, I used to go to my my gran's at the weekend. My grandma and my granny used to look after me while giving my mum a bit of a break for a little bit. And during the 70s on TV, there was an absolutely amazing show in the UK called Doctor Who. And it starred the amazing, absolutely amazing Tom Baker. And yeah, he was my doctor. And I remember watching it at my gran's from behind a cushion like most kids do, because it was absolutely terrifying, with the likes of the Cybermen and the Daleks and all the rest of the nasty, horrible villains that you had in Doctor Who. So I used to absolutely adore going and watching it and being scared to death. And then there was a big cliffhanger every single week, and it was just the best program to watch when I was a kid. Then, as I got older, I lost touch of it and it just kind of disappeared. But then, in more recent times, Doctor Who's been resurrected by the BBC. Yeah, Doctor Who is absolutely fabulously rich, quirky, British, amazing show that I think will keep going forever and ever, because it's so damn good. It's just the best kind of show that you could have on TV. That it scares kids to death, and it makes them interested in science fiction and interested in different kinds of thoughts. So if you're asking what my kind of such is, it's Doctor Who.
My contribution to the Such collaboration would have to be anime. I started back in the second year of high school with a show called Sword Art Online. Long story short, it was terrible. Back then I didn't know good from bad, and I loved every minute of it. Nowadays though, don't go watch that. Then I went to Gintama, which I didn't realise it was 200 episodes at the time, and it severely cut into my study time. But it acted as a springboard into the seasonally anime charts, which I've been keeping up with ever since. The appeal of anime comes from the wide variety of genres you can get from it, and the interesting ideas that each story presents. Hollywood's unfortunately being a bit stagnant at the moment, putting out the same kinds of stories again and again and again. How many superhero films are we getting recently? I mean, everything's a reboot or a superhero movie. There's just no variety anymore. Whereas anime keeps interesting ideas, and also their style of animation is very different from the West, putting themselves more towards an adult audience, and that's something I can respect. Of course, nowadays anime is also falling into a bit of a stagnation, constantly relying on light novel adaptations, which is another story entirely. But for now, I'll tell you 5 good shows that you should probably watch. Lupin the Third Part 4, which is only recently getting a dub. The Eccentric Family, which is getting a second season soon. Konosuba, currently on its second season but no dub in sight, but utterly hilarious. Gundam Unicorn. The Gundam franchise isn't really as hard to get into as you think it is, just jump in. And finally, Cowboy Bebop. Everyone's gotta see it, it's a classic. And that's my such thing. Was that a minute? I hope it was.
I think we're in the wrong place here, Metroplex.
This video collab is about the such. So what else do I collect? Radio controlled cars. Now this is my Kyosho Pegasus. It's the first hobby grade radio controlled car I ever bought. I've owned this thing since about 1986. It's in a restored condition now. It hasn't always looked this good. I mean, I've got the original box here, and as you can see, It's very tatty. Tamiya Clodbuster. This here is an original Sand Rover kit. If you look, it's still got the original £39.99 price tag on it, and it's mint in box, never been built. This massive 1/8 scale buggy called the Glamis Uno, which is powered by all the latest technology, 2.4 gigahertz radio, LiPo batteries, brushless motor system. It'll do about 50 miles an hour. That's just a brief look at my RC car collection, which I've got about 170 cars. Something else I got into, Skylanders. So got the original game, Xbox 360. There's all the characters from the first game. Then I got Giants, and I just got the basic set of Elementals, and the same for Trap Team. There you go, there's my such.
The main things I collect other than Transformers is some Star Wars stuff, as you can see here, prequel stuff, new trilogy stuff, whatever, and some Marvel stuff. Also some tiny little Matchbox, Hot Wheels looking things. I mainly collect Star Wars because of their amazing laser swords, but they're definitely not sex toys. Another thing I really enjoy collecting is Iron Man armors. As you know, there's a ton of Iron Man armors out there. There's the Mark III, I believe, from 2008, the Mark 42 from Iron Man 3, and much more.
My such is my comics. All my comics. I love reading comics. My eyesight's getting kind of bad, but I've been collecting comics on and off now for like close to 30 years, and all of my collection, I've got shit from the 70s, the 80s, 90s, even some recent shit now that I still collect. But my eyesight's getting bad, I'm blind as fuck now, so yeah, but this is my such. I love my such.
These aren't sex toys.
My favorite bit of such is all of these things. Cute pop vinyls, rude bears, the geeky and the cute. I like lots of things. I like music, I like DVDs and films and games and playing bass. I like playing bass. I'm not very good, but I like playing it, and it's not Transformers. And I like being in Transformers and such because it's fun and it makes me happy. So yeah, that's the stuff and such that I like that's not Transformers. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
And yeah.